All right, we're off with the first game of week 2 of the NECC season. Center White here playing on Lijiang, first map of the game. And what team is this? Is a team from Puerto Rico. I think it's our first time ever playing this team, so this will be pretty interesting to play against. Do you want to hide the chat? Yeah, you guys at home don't get to see the funny interactions between the teams that we do. It's for our eyes only. All right, but we see Center on a pretty standard comp. We've definitely seen this comp on Lijiang before. Jellymane on the Moira, pretty staple character for him. And Adama on the Sim. This is probably one of Sim's best maps, so it'll be pretty cool to see how much he pops off. But on the other team, we see a Junkrat, and Junkrat can be very scary on this map with the very tight corridors that each team has to walk through. So we'll see who spam wins, because that might be the difference as just the character selection. And they're off. It looks like Center White gets there a bit earlier. Setting up the turrets is going to be huge for Adam. Early pick on the Junkrat by Chunky Ghost. That is huge. It looks like Center White's just pushing them. They're getting the pick, and then they're going in. Adama, no fear, holding that right click. Turrets getting killed. The turrets are the best players I've ever seen this game. They're insane. And Adama just walking in, no fear, because how many people are down? Unlucky for Adama. The spam, just big burst damage. Yeah, we see a reset, but since they got a pick, Adama should have time to get back before the Puerto Rican team's able to put in that much damage. Blake holding that space, he just is not moving. That's one of the big upsides of Orisa. Even after some of her nerfs, she just doesn't die. She's just a big body to watch out for. It looks like they are trying to take a fight on point here, rather than holding up there, which is a good decision. With the Junkrat spam, it's really hard to. Blake is swapping to the main side here, and that seems to be where all the other team is as well. So he's really holding it. That's probably like Blake's best strength, is just knowing where the enemy team is and going to them. He's taking that space as much as he can. The ult economy is looking pretty even here. We see a Nano Visor coming out from the side of UPRM, and they are going to get a pick onto Adama here. But will that be enough to clean up? Chunky goes onto the soldier in the back. Yeah, everybody's holding their own here. Blake popping his own ult. And Kitsune and Wall coming out from Center White here. This looks like it could be what they need to clean up. Yeah, and there it is. Center's getting these kills because of the ults that they put in. Unfortunately, UPRM's got 2 ults they're sitting on. Well, Center is sitting on 1 tactical visor on Chunky Ghost. And they might have a coalescence by the time UPRM is ready to push in again. Lots of spam damage coming out. Adam setting up a escape TP just in case. Never know what's gonna happen. UPRM going for a wide, rotation. Trying to just mix some stuff up, keep them on their toes. But the question is, will they have enough time to get onto the point before time's up? They have 4 seconds, 3 seconds here. Blake beating that body, and the Orisa's able to touch in time. Ooh, Junkrat getting a quick 2 kills there, and that's really big for UPRM. They might be able to take this fight right here. Yeah, the Visor and the Coalescence coming out on the side of Center White here. And only Kiriko and Orisa alive. Yeah, that's not enough to win this fight. But Carp is able to get out in time before he loses his life. And when we look at the ults here, Center White's the only ult they're close to is Orisa, and they're still pretty far off. While UPRM is pretty close to Visor and not far off from Nano either. I also wouldn't be surprised if they build their Kitsune rush in this fight as well. Yeah, Center might want to look to take a dry fight here. Just try to build up those ults as much as they can. Lots of damage coming out on the side of UPRM. Just tons of spam from the Orisa and the Junkrat. But they're pushing. Adam's walking in, holding that right click. And yeah. Oh, the Orisa just walks into the team, but she's kind of put herself out of position. Adama burning the Orisa. Ooh, Chunky's going down though to the Junkrat. That's pretty scary. As Chunky's is like their long range damage. Without it, they could be down a pretty big advantage. We're seeing a Nano Orisa here. Um, yeah, and the Nano Orisa just does not die. She's able to hold that line, push back center white. Yeah, and it looks like with the ults that were expended on the side of UPRM, they were able to clean up this fight. Both Visor and Nano came out on the side of UPRM, but they're close to another Visor. It's kind of scary, but center white here sitting on 4 ults almost. This could be what they need to turn this fight around. We're seeing some waiting for everybody to group up here, and oh, here comes a Kitsune rush from Carp. And the is Taco Master gonna match? Taco Master does not match the Kitsune. They're just letting them pop ults right now. Look who anti. Oh, that was a big anti on the side of UPerm. That anti preventing Blake from getting healed. They forced Carp to use Suzu on himself. Oh, but Jelly Main's cooking. He's in the back line. Oh, but the Jugger has another double kill with the tire. Oh, that's unlucky. But Adama's in. Oh, and it looks like unless Blake can get a big ult here. Yeah, it looks like UPerm's gonna take this first map on Lijiang. Oh, that's so unlucky with the forcing Carp to Suzu himself. That prevents him from using the Suzu to cleanse the anti on Blake. And I think that's what won that last fight, is that just, when you're down your tank, you're probably most likely losing the fight. So it's really rough in positions like that. Alright, looks like the next map is Night Market, another very good Symmetra map. And we're going to see Sim on both sides. Now the only real difference between the teams here is the Soldier and the Reaper. So yeah, it'll really depend on how each of these people play. And if Chunky Ghost is able to hold down the line as Reaper, they might be able to control more space than UPerm. And that might be what they need to take this map. Alright, here we are. We're speeding out of spawn. Just try to get there first. But Adam is still in the back. TP's going up. Ooh, it looks like UPerm got there just a little bit earlier. Suzu being forced to cleanse everything. And Frozy on the Reaper, actually getting the kill on Carp there. And that might be what UPerm needs to clean this up. Yeah, getting there ever so slightly faster, I think, caused the lost fight there for Center White. But Blake and Jelly Main able to back out to keep their lives. And keep that ult charge too. So while the first fight is super important on this map, what also is important is how they are going to re-engage after. They can continue trying to TP that window, but it gets significantly harder if the team has already capped the point. So it looks like they're going to try and play Vayne here and not take it. Yeah. Alright, it looks like we're just building ults right here, just waiting for something to happen. Blake getting the anti, and Suzu forced out by Carp. Honestly, the Ana pick here might be an even bigger, one of the biggest impacts on this game right now. Forcing out the Suzu every time, and those antis are so big. Antiing Blakeu, and then having the Reaper walk on him, just, is so crazy, especially when Carp doesn't have his Suzu. Yeah, so UPerm has a way to basically force out the Suzu on the side of Center, while Center doesn't really have a way to force it out on UPerm. Looks like they're all here. You see 5 ults almost on the side of UPerm, and only 1 ult built on the side of Center White. Ooh, big Suzu coming out from Carp. And the coalescence from Jellymain, trying to keep everyone up, but it's looking too much for him. Yeah, and the wall and Nano coming out. Frozy got the double kill on both the supports on Center White. That might be what is all ults need to clean up this fight. Yeah, Center White has to back out if they want to win. And with 73, 74, 75% already on the timer at the top, time is ticking down fast for Center here. Plays need to be made. Fortunately, Center looks like they're holding on to 4 ults here. Kitsune coming out from Center. Are they going to try and match it? No, Taco Master's holding on to his own Kitsune. Ooh, Adama going down to the Reaper pick. That's unlucky, but Carp with a headshot on the Reaper. Reaper's super low. Jelly Main and Blakeu going in. Chunky goes with the Blossom. Jelly Main killing the Reaper. All right, Sim's still alive, but she TP'd out, I think. Yeah, Sim's out. Yeah, lots of ult coming out on both sides here. Looking at the ult economy now, Center is sitting on almost, let's see, almost 2 ults, while UPRM's sitting on 2 right now. It almost has 3. Blakely coming back a little late can be pretty costly. Oh, here's the big ult from Blakely with the kill on Taco Master. Oh, the shield, though, coming out from UPerm is big, but Jellymane doesn't care about the shield. Coalescence goes straight through it. Oh, but the anti keeps him from healing himself. Yeah, and Center White is pushed off the point, allowing UPerm to win the first map in the set. Good performance from both teams here. I think both did a really good job. The difference, I think, in team comp was much bigger than I think the teams realized. The Ana throwing those nades and constantly forcing out the Suzu on the side of Center White played a huge role in how effective this game was for UPerm. But good game to both, or good map to both teams, and we'll be back for map 2. All right, and we are off on the second map of the set. Center white on the attack for King's Row um, versus PURM on defense. I think the Ana pick is going to be very strong here. Ana can sit back through this little area here and just kind of look over the whole first point. Getting a nice scenic view here of King's Row. King's Row is one of the prettier maps, I think, on in Overwatch 2. Mainly just because it feels more real than a lot of the other maps do. Like, this could be this is probably someone's house right here. We're just duking it out. We're seeing a pretty interesting comp coming out from Center College here. With the Winton, Widowmaker, May, Moira, and Kiriko. It's a very interesting comp, like a semi-dive, semi-brawl-ish comp. Also looking for picks, though. So we'll see how this works for Center. And then we're seeing a pretty beefy brawl comp on the side of PURM. They have a BAP and an Ana to keep the Rhine alive and toss out all of those antis. Chungo's looking for the snipes. You look at he's swapping off early after not getting any, but that's okay. And we're seeing a swap to the Reinhardt from Blakeu here. He's just going in for the brawl. Yeah, so with the difference in the support and DPS lineup, this could be pretty impactful for Center here. The walls from Adama could be very, very big. Yeah, and the Windtone is going in, just not a care in the world, swinging his hammer. And yeah, Center was just going down here. The frontline damage from the Junkrat is just so much higher than the frontline damage from the Meg. It's yeah, it can be quite hard to make up for that. Mega getting 2 kills here, showing up for the support. They're not just healers; they're supports. We're seeing a lot of ults on the side of PURM here. They have 84 to Nano, 75 to Window, Tactical Visor, and Reinhardt. So, yeah, this next fight might be a little rough for Center here. Yeah, Blakeu is walking in, taking a lot of damage from the shield, having to drop it early, and it looks like dropping the shield is what Jellyman goes down, but the Reaper goes, or Soldier goes down as well, and the Rhine for PURM is low. Oh, but the big nade coming out, and the nano boost as well. Blakeu not far off of his own shatter. Oh, charge coming in. He's just swinging, holding up that shield. Oh, the shatter, but he misses. That's so unlucky for Blakeu. Alright, Suzu coming out. Nice. They're in the back line. They're doing everything they can, pushing them back. Big Blizzard coming out from Adama here, getting a triple freeze. Adama going crazy with the Blizzard. Man, that was crazy. That ult, I want to say, won them that point. Just because how big of a zoning ult that was. Blakeu did a really good job just pushing them back. And they had nowhere to go because of the freeze was there. So they walked in straight into the freeze and got punished for it. PURM sitting on 3 ults here. They're sitting on Window, Fire, and Slam. Junkrat taking some sneaky position here. It looks like they know that Junkrat's up there. Yeah, Blakeu's swinging here, looking for something. Oh, there's the pin from Blakeu swinging on the Rhine. Oh, the tire pick on Harp is huge, but they get the pick on the Reinhardt. That might be a bigger pick. Trades are just coming out right now, and it looks like Center's still gonna control the space. Having their tank and Jellymane up is really big for Center there. Oh, early cold coming out from Jellymane. It looks like they're just gonna take this straight to him. No sleep from the Ana, but the Ana can die. She's really out of position. Eli taking that pick. Excuse me. Yeah, and here the ult's coming out from Center White here, cleaning up the rest of PURM or UPRM. That might be what Center needs to cap the point here. Blake moving up to take the space to ensure the point is capped. Alright, we're looking at the ult economy here. The only ult online for UPRM is Nano, while their soldier is close to his visor. Meanwhile, Chunky Ghost is sitting on a nice Death Blossom with Adama coming up to another freeze. This will be really interesting to see how these two interact, because Nano Visor can be very powerful if used correctly. But so can Freeze, as we saw on the first point of the last match. Oh, the big wall coming out from Adama here. And the big Blossom from Chunky Ghost, and the big freeze from Adama. Yeah, they just pushed them back into the ult like they did on the first point. Tossing the freeze behind them and then just running into them is what they needed. And it was enough to hold them off of the point, allowing Center White to finish the third point with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the time bank. That was such a fast and impressive push on the side of Center White here. They really showed how much understanding they have over their ults and their composition. The walls coming out by Adama and then pushing into the Reinhardt after he'd been walled off were very, very nice to see. All right, and you're seeing a very similar team comp coming out from Center White here. They're replacing the Reaper for a Cassidy who just got a buff, so this will be pretty fun to see. We're seeing a Mei mirror on the side of UPRM as well. Maybe they got inspired by Adama's, Adama and his Mei walls, so they want to try it out for themselves. They are running a Lucio Baptiste comp for their Reinhardt. Speeding Reinhardt into the enemy team is always a good idea. His one weakness is that he is slow. So with a Lucio mitigating that weakness, he becomes so much stronger. All right, and we're off. All right, you're seeing Blake holding this corner, swinging his hammer. Big wall coming out from UPRM, and here comes, oh man, lots of stuff happening. Center White was pushed back a little bit, but the wall wasn't able to kill Blake like they were hoping. Another wall coming out with Blake being pushed. Blake charging the Rhine. Oh, but with the amount of spam coming straight onto Blake, it's really hard to sustain that. Yeah, and it looks like their Center White goes down here, and UPRM is able to take this first point. This first point on King's Row is can be very momentum based. You get one pick, and you basically can win this whole point on your own. It's kind of crazy how that works. But Center White resetting here, all just sitting on the side of the wall. Blake not far from his Shatter, much closer to Shatter than Windtone is. And yeah, they're just holding this corner. We have 2 ults online for Center here. Meanwhile, UPRM has got 2 ults of their own from the Baptiste and the Lucio. Blake getting walled again. These walls from Frozy have been really impressive. Oh, the Shatter is blocked by Blake, but the Suzu to keep him alive. And the Eli with the heals. Oh, Blake with the quick double kill. This might be what they need. Ooh, lots of trades coming out right here. But it looks like Center White is able to... Center White has what it takes to stay up. Nice shots from Chunky Ghost there. Being down there, Carpet in Jellymane is going to be pretty bad, though. Because they have no supports at the moment. They have to back off because they have spawn disadvantage. Their spawn is so much farther than the attacker spawn. So it gets really difficult when your supports die like that. But 3 ults are online for Center College, while only 2 ults are online for UPRM. And yeah, I think the ult usage is what's going to make or break this fight here. A big Shatter can honestly win this fight on its own. We could take a lot of damage. Oh, the Suzu was a bit late, and Windtone capitalizes on the missed Suzu. slamming the entire team into the ground. Yeah, we're seeing actually very similar to what happened to UPRM on the first point, where ults just kind of aren't being used. They're kind of being held onto because they're being held onto for so long. UPRM's just going to be able to run into them without worry of being ulted. Reaper's taking that high ground position. They seem to know he's up there. No ults online for UPRM, while Sinner's sitting on almost 3 ults. Another thing to notice is that UPRM's sitting on a 5-minute time bank. So Sinner White's going to have to hold this point for 5 minutes. Doable? Yes. So it'll be very, very fun to see. Another wall coming out. Blake, the damage from the wall, like getting walled off, is always crazy. High Noon coming out from Chonky Ghost. Nice double kill from Adama. Yeah, 3 ults popped on the side of Center College there. That could be very devastating, as UPRM's close to their own Blizzard, and they're not far off from their other ults as well. Meanwhile, Center White's solely holding on to the Shatter. Jellyman, he tried it. He saw him there. He just couldn't get the angle. It's a little funny. Reaper once again taking that high ground. Yeah, they gotta be very careful of these walls. Blake is playing a little more careful because of that. And big shatter coming out from Blake, but the freeze keeps him from doing anything. Big Suzu from Karp though. Blake taking a lot of damage on the wall. Oh, that was a very sad wall from that was a very good wall, I should say, honestly, from the side of UPRM. The Blossom able to clean up Chonky Ghost and Karp. Jellyman, the only one left alive. He might be able to stall. Yeah, Jellyman hopping. He's still in the back line. Jellyman is going in. He's cooking it on him. They aren't ready for this feast he's about to deliver. Oh man, the solo window though on Jellyman. That's it. Oh man. Even a 5-star melee ain't living through that. Oh yeah, and that is the second round of King's Row. Both teams sitting on a pretty big time bank. 2 minutes for UPRM and 2 minutes and 10 seconds for Center White. So we do have the time advantage. Will those 10 seconds change the game? Who knows? Nice little underview of King's Row third point here.
Why would the camera start here?
I don't know. It's very...
I can't go.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of just stuck here until the game starts.
Small indie company.
All right, and we're off. Karp swapping it up, hopping off the Kiriko and onto the Zenyatta. I think their game plan here is just melt the enemy Reinhardt. With the Junkrat spam and the Mei walls, I think what Center White's going for is if we kill their Reinhardt first, we win. And that's not a terrible game plan. So we'll see how well this works. Sneaky little trap here from Chonky Ghost. Yeah, we're seeing the exact same comp coming out from UPRM here. It seems to be working for him, so they're just gonna stick it. Fortunately, Blake missed both those fire strikes from the beginning of the game, missing that little bit of ult charge. Ooh, big wall coming out, and the pin onto the Reaper. Reaper lives though, and back to neutral we go. Jellyman taking a lot of damage here. He's super low. Oh, but he heals up really easily. Nothing to worry about. Ooh, Chonky Ghost is in. Chonky Ghost is in the front line. And it's an all-out brawl right now. Everything is everywhere, and they're just swinging. Chonky Ghost killing the Reinhardt. That might be what Center White needs. Oh, but Blake goes down himself. And the Reaper's able to clean up the rest of Center White's team. Jelly may not go down without a fight, though. But that fight is not enough. Looking at the ults here, Chonky Ghost sitting on 92% to his Tire, while Jellymane is sitting on 81% to his Coalescence. Meanwhile, we're seeing a 90% window from Mega and a 90% shatter from Winto. Once again, I think the ult usage here will make or break this game. Taco Master sitting at 97% on his beat. If we can kill Taco Master before he beats, we might be able to clean up this fight. And that would win the round, as there's so little time left on the clock. All right, wall coming out from Adama here. Bit far back, though, so they're not really able to push anyone. The wall coming out on Blakeu. Oh, Blakeu went for the shatter, so he lost his ult charge. Oh, but Eli's in. Eli, Chonky Ghost are in. They are going down right now. They're saying we're finishing it here and now. It is just the Reaper on cart. Oh, Reaper, he just grabbed the health pack, but he has no Wraith. Oh, the Reaper is super low. Reaper down. Good kill from Carp. In the ball pick, in the blizzard from Adama. The big freeze and big beat from Taco Master. Honestly, keeping their team alive. Taco Master really low. And a big freeze coming out, but Carp with the Trank. It's an all-out brawl right now. Oh, the big wall from Adam! Being down their tank and Carp killing Frozy. Oh, the Blossom coming out from Reaper. No! I think that's what is needed, I think, to clean up this fight here. They're Baptiste holding that high ground, and no one can really challenge him up there. Oh, and the rollout messed up by Blakeu. That's unfortunate. Yeah, all the ult and stuff expended there is very devastating for Center College. Luckily, almost every ult is gone on the side of, or every ult is gone on the side of UPRM. They're only close to window. Meanwhile, Center's close to Mines, Tracer ult, and Moira. So if they can stall out this next point for pretty long, they can build these ults and win. Blakeu being the ball. Oh no, the kill on Carp. That's really big. We're gonna see Mines coming out on point from Blakeu maybe? Yeah, here are Mines coming out. Oh, and that's really big. Blakeu with a double kill because of the mine. Triple kill because of the Mines. It's just Reaper. Dancing around the cart right now. It's a Reaper and Tracer versus, or it's a Tracer and Ball versus a Reaper. Blakeu. Mines are so strong that, oh my goodness. Blakeu killed 4 of that fight just because of Mines. That was insane. Center White has 2 minutes and 10 seconds to push it just as far as UPRM pushed it.
Initiating match.
All right, I wonder what comps we're gonna see on the side of UPRM. They're gonna keep the same thing or swap it up. We're looking at a very, very similar comp to what we've seen from UPRM this entire round, except we're swapping up the Lucio for an Ana. That could be very crucial as Center no longer has their Kiriko, so those nades are going to last the entire 3.5 seconds of no healing for Center White. And first, speaking of Center White, look at their comp. They swapped out their tank to a Zarya. They swapped up the they swapped Adama onto the Bastion, and Carp is now on Mercy. This is a very, very interesting comp. They look like they're just wanting to sustain their Bastion and use him as their win con. They're off. They don't know if the Reaper is sitting at the top of the movie theater right now, so they're kind of just waiting for a quick moment to drop down and put in all that damage. There he is. He dropped, but didn't get anything too crazy. Reaper in the hotel spamming. Reaper's walled off. They can run in on him. He has no fade. But the wall from the UPRM May is really big. Carp with the res on the Bastion though. Uh-oh. Yeah, Adama getting walled off right there. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Chunky Ghost just pushing them right now, but yeah, they're getting a lot of damage thrown at them. So much frontline damage coming from the Bastion, or not from the Bastion, from the Reaper and the May. It's really big. Also with the Zenyatta pick, that is really big for the Discords. We're seeing 90% on the Coalescence from Jellymane, and then Nano already built by Taco Master. Adama going in on the Bastion, laying straight into the Orisa, but Fortify and double support pocket makes it almost impossible for her to kill him. Oh, Jellyman's in the back line. He was cooking, but he was the only chef. The rest of his team was in the front. And that might be, with 40 seconds left on the clock, Jellymane really has to play his life. Dying could be very bad for Jellymane here. Yeah, Jellymane kind of tickling them in the back line, keeping them on their toes. But that leaves Carp to sustain the front line, which could be very dangerous. Jellyman's on the Zen. He's in! Jellymane is in! We see a Valk coming out and a Blizzard on the side of Center White. And here comes the Rissel. Oh, big 2 from the Rissel. That's 3, actually. Carp looking for the res, but he can't get it. Just the supports. Carp trying to get the res, but the Reaper is on him. He gets the res onto Blaiku, but I'm not sure that'll be enough to save this fight. Actually, Blaiku with a quick pick on the Orisa. And the rest of the team is back. Blaiku's in. Nice. Good. It looks like Center White's going to be able to clean up this fight. That res on the Orisa was a very, very big play. Oh, yeah. Looking at the ult economy here, Center White has the advantage. So they got a nice Coalescence and a very nice Orisa. Oddly enough, they're sticking Zen Lucio, which is not a great healing comp, especially for an Orisa. If Center White could just lay the damage into the Orisa, they really have no burst heals to keep them alive. Yeah, it looks like UPRM's just kind of holding back, playing their distance, and kind of just letting them build their ults. Yeah, we're kind of playing it slow right here. They're finally contesting the point. Adama taking a lot of damage here. But the Coalescence coming out in the back line. Oh, Jellymane got stunned. That's really unfortunate. Blake was going in. The bigs, oh, but Trank and beat from the supports. That is so unlucky. Oh no, and it's just Adama alive on cart. And that lets UPRM clean up the fight and win the second map of this set. Good game good map to both of these teams.
Play of the game.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid Rashawn, who is commentating our first two games, has to go warm up for his game, which starts at 8 o'clock later tonight. So instead, you've got me. My name is Grant Lyon. I'm the head coach and director of esports here at Center College. And we join ourselves on match 3 of Center White versus UPRM. Center's backs are against the wall here after 2 pretty tight, but eventually in the favor of UPRM games right before this. In this best of 5 series, this is game point if UPRM is able to take it. We see Center here starting on the attack. Running a comp with Sigma, looking for sort of some poke damage here. Similar comp we see on the side of UPRM. Map here, Circuit Royale, is just a really good map for poke comps. Sort of finding that damage from a distance, controlling different angles on the opponent. Gonna swap up here for Carp onto the Mercy. Sort of damage boost that Ashe. Center looking to focus the enemy Sigma here, but he's getting healed right back up. Oh, and Jellymane gets picked off by the Hanzo. Carp's able to come in for the res. But Blepu is getting low, healed right back up. It's a slow fight, but Center is slowly taking the space and pushing the card. Huge pick from Chonky Ghost there. It's still looking pretty even, but Center does have the spawn advantage in this early phase of the map. Excuse me. Bleku gets antied. Huge wall to protect him there. Might still not make it out of this. Enemy Sigma walks right in and is getting a little punished for it, but Center can't quite close out the kill on him. And there he goes. Team effort. 4 people up in the kill feed on that kill. Couple Center members pushing out ahead, while others stop the aggression and get on the cart, make sure that they close out this point here. Bleku pushing up onto the high ground here, trying to distract some of UPRM to take a little pressure off of Center's members who are still down here pushing the cart. Perhaps they're not, just one on cart at this time. Oh, and the soldier gets nanoed and goes down into the back line. Gets 2, but Center does end up taking the fight.
Payload's all mine. Let's move.
Adama going back to let Carp take a little taxi ride back up to the front line, a little faster there. Center can look to engage pretty quick here. Going with an aggressive coalescence. Jellymane doesn't quite get a kill, but does take a lot of space. Oh, but he goes down. But it doesn't matter. With all that space they're able to take, Center does cap this next checkpoint. Soldier up on the high ground here. The enemy Sigma starts to ultimate. Not a low health bars here in Center, but it seems like they're starting to stabilize. Adamo hops his ult. Gets taken out. Center's still up. Still an advantage to Center in this fight. Couple Center members able to push up, get a little aggressive. Well, Jonathan holds it down on the cart. It's really this strategy of having a couple people go ahead while a couple hang on cart. Taking that space after each win that's allowing Center to take Such a blazing speed here on Secret Royale. They're backing out a little bit after Rosie gets a pick from UPRM. Alt pop. And a Diva up top, providing a lot of distraction into center. UPRM manages to stabilize and take a nice clean team fight. Looking at the ultimates here, center will have 2 and possibly even 3 into this next fight. And the same will be true from UPRM. UPRM taking a really powerful position here with their DPS up in the high ground. They drop down when they start to get pressured. Blakeu coming in with an ult here. And it gets stopped by the Trank. Jellymane's ult also not getting too much value with the damage. Oh, and it does after the Tranquility ends from the enemy Zenyatta. Jellymane getting aggressive here. The rest of center team looks to burn this Diva. Huge pick onto that Sojourn and onto the Diva. And another one. Blakeu just getting pick after pick. Just this primary fire from Sigma. Oh, and the Bob manages to block along with some of the Sigma utility there. Just incredible play. A blazing speed from Center College here. Looking very different than they did in those first 2 maps. This is just perhaps a comp that Center is a little more comfortable running than some of these first 2 maps. Senator looking to take on the defense here. And we see a swap in the composition of UPRM. It looks like they're running more of a dive comp here with the Winston. And it was an Ana now at a Kiriko looking to go extra fast in this composition that was very dominant among the tank and healers in the first season of Overwatch 2. Center's sort of discussing here where they want to play to get this started. I'm not sure if they know about the monkey. Now that's going to play. Center opting to back up as they notice the dive composition coming out from UPRM. UPRM collapses on center, but in the scramble, center emerges on top with pick after pick. Looks like UPRM is going to continue with the same comp. I think it can work. It looked like a good dive, and there were some low health bars on center, but it just didn't win in that particular fight. If they could maybe get more of a positional advantage, catch someone from center out of position, this really might work. Winston does manage to take out Harp. Unfortunately, he can't res himself, but center brings the damage in this next phase of the fight and clears everything up. Another full reset here from UPRM. And we'll see a swap from the Genji over to the Sojourn. Where is that Tracer? The Tracer from the side of UPRM is causing a lot of distractions here in the back line. Making center split their attention. Jellymane does manage to take her out. We see an ult here from Adama. He falls to the Zarya. Jellymane going in with another aggressive coalescence, and it looks like center's going to stabilize this fight here. It's one ult left here from Center College. A lot of ults popped in that last fight, but you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter when you're holding the cart up this close. The momentum is so firmly in their favor. I think it's okay to pop a few here. Some ults coming in from UPRM. Center looking to maybe give some space here. Picks coming out from both sides. Blakeu on the cart here, stalling it, making sure it doesn't get moved any bit further. A lot of resources getting pumped into Blakeu on the heels here. Wind tone on the Zarya here is very, very high charge. Popped ultimate. That wall is blocking a lot of damage for center. Doesn't look like they're able to capitalize on that Zarya ultimate. Only 18 seconds left for UPRM to get to site. They're going to be able to touch, but they have to win this fight here. D.Va diving onto the back line here. Yet another new tank that we're seeing come out. Beat from Taco Master keeps UPRM alive, and they're managing to get a pick onto Carp. Jellymane pops Coalescence. Center's getting the picks to turn this fight. Lucio goes down, and UPRM has no one who is able to touch this cart here. A dominant game 3 from Center. A big reversal of the momentum of the first 2 games. Center's showing once again that they do not get 3-0'd. Play the game here from Blakeu on the Sigma. Managing to sort of shut down this dual ultimate combo here from the side of UPRM. We'll be entering into another phase of picking and banning of maps, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, folks. We are on map number 4, New Queen Street here. For Center College White versus UPRM. Last map on Circuit Royale, Center really surprised us with how dominant they could be after 2 rounds lost right before it. We're seeing a swap here from UPRM, and a new player has been subbed in, and that's Loopies. Looks to be playing a Junker Queen here on Circuit Royale, or on New Queen Street. Sorry. Center looking to run Ramatra here, and holding on to that pocketed Ash that they were running in the previous map.
3, 2, 1.
I get the idea.
I do not fight for myself. I never have.
It's an interesting comp here from Center. They'll be able to do a lot of, damage from afar with their damage players, but Blakeu will be able to come right in for that frontline damage and contest this Junker Queen.
Rally to my side. We are pushing.
Center cleans up everyone except for the Reaper, it looks like, on the side of UPRM.
Take everything from them.
Over here.
I see an enemy.
Leaving them in the dust.
He's still up top, but they haven't been able to take him out, and he TP's out. May coming in really aggressively, using both of her abilities. Blakeu getting awfully low. A lot of heals been pumped into him to keep him up. The Queen misses her axe swing there. Still low on Blakeu, but it's just massive job here. Great job with Jellymane and Carp keeping him up. Chunky Ghost gets a pick here. And Center is looking to have 4 ults here, soon to be 5. Jellymane with a Coalescence, but Potato Salad pops a Coalescence of their own. It's still a pretty even fight here. Blakeu's kind of stuck in here.
I ain't a quitter.
Center does get the lead, and they're looking to back out, regroup, stabilize, and push in, knowing that it doesn't matter all that much if they lose a little space here.
They're catching up to us.
Blakeu might be looking to ult into this team here. Oh, a huge anti from the Junker Queen ult.
We are providing escorts.
Oh, come on. We let them take need some assistance.
Devour them. You have preyed on my people for the last time. An enemy comes. Take everything from them.
The barricade's moving
You
along.
are safe with me. Over there. Dare victory for your class.
Center gets to that second checkpoint here, or that first checkpoint rather. So they'll get spawns closer to the robot. UPRM all grouping up in the high ground here. Jellymane getting an interesting position for his ultimate here. Keeping a lot of center up during this May ult. Blakeu gets some kills. Trade onto the Reaper. Center looks to still be up in this fight. Blakeu getting more aggressive. Pushing right onto them. Making so much space for the rest of the team to get that robot just a little bit further at end goal. Blakeu might be looking to ult here. Wants to close that distance, keep it up for longer. A lot of value here. 3 kills. So looking to get onto this Reaper, not let him regroup. The soldiers here behind center. Due to these close spawns, it looks like UPRM is already back to contest the point. Some trades from both sides here, but with this spawn advantage, a pick onto center is much more costly. See an ultimate pop here from the side of the enemy Ramatra. He's down in the fight, but still able to contest this robot here. Harp awfully hurt using this natural cover to stay alive. And that center backing out. So Reaper centers back line. Almost taking out Carp. Jellymane able to get a lot of damage into them. Blakeu getting up close and personal in this room. He's got ult if he wants to use it. Pops it. The beat's taking a lot of the damage away. And while he's doing it, Sueño comes in on the back line and takes out 3 of center's squishies. It's just Adama left. But that's every single ult from the side of UPRM. Center will have at least 2 going into this next fight. Heart pops ult, giving center a little bit of extra sustain in this fight. And a bit of extra damage as well. Adama cops his ult, denying the area, getting some extra damage. Jellymane gets yet another coalescence. Center choosing to play a little more passive in this fight, knowing they have all of this distance on the robot. They don't need to win every fight to still clutch this game out. Blakeu does choose to ult here, mostly just to stall point, but it's not going to work out. Chonky Ghost uses his bob to touch the point and start contesting. And they're able to stop Sueño from popping his Death Blossom there. Jellyman gets yet another Coalescence, but so does Potato Salad. And he's got possession of the robot. Still a few stragglers left from UPRM.
Cannot escape me.
I might have been debating there if they wanted to stop the robot there, but UPRM's going to have touch regardless of where they put it. They're able to burn this Ramatra. I think Center was going to be able to take it. Just need this soldier.
Do not abandon the robot.
And that's going to be it. Nothing UPRM can do. We're going to be going to a game 5 here, folks. As tight of a match as it could be. Play the game to Blakeu on the Ramatra. Just commanded so much space throughout this fight. I think he gets 4 kills in this fight alone. Great stuff there from Center College. See you in another couple minutes for this exciting conclusion.
In unity will we find strength. 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Our work begins. Placing a turret here.
Pain is inevitable.
Perfect alignment. Over there. Placing a turret here.
Your end is within my reach. Eyes open now. Reforming you. Pain is inevitable.
I'm under attack.
Misery made manifest.
Sentry in position. Topping you up. I'm Dinah Zeiter. I have opened the bar.
Another day, another battlefield.
Healing you up. I'm restored. Big Starlat.
Over there. A bad omen comes. We're outnumbered. Stay sharp.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Not as quick as
From
I used to be,
imperfection,
but I'm
we
still
build a
the
new
fastest
world.
gun in the New West.
Seems I've been muted the entire time. That's okay. We'll have Center College here down one sub map on this map number 5 here on Nepal. Center doesn't take this one. It will go to UPRM.
2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
They're looking to TP here onto the left. Neither team has a Lucio, but both have a Symmetra, so they'll probably get to point around the same time. Both going straight to point. Got Blakeu here on the Ramatra, switching it up from last round. Adama, or Chonky Ghost rather, with the May. Get some value out of that wall. Ooh, Center able to split off the Orisa and get a pick. Blakeu looking awfully hurt here as he runs into the back line. Got some great supports behind him, though, and he's able to stay up. Commanding first fight from Center College there. Jellymane holding up a little close, knowing he can get back out with that fade, just getting a little bit of intel, a little bit of chip. While the rest of the team decides to bunker down on point. With that Ramatra, they kind of want to close the distance with the opponent. Make them come to them. Or make UPRM come to them. Adama and Sueño both popping walls. Adama on full charge with his laser here. Getting a lot of damage onto this Orisa. She gets nanoed, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. Huge damage going on to Adama here, and they are able to take him out. Mega misses the sleep onto Jellymane, who's always in that back line. Lots of ultimates here for Center College. They're looking to have 4 here in this fight. Compared to the soon-to-be 3 from the side of UPRM. UPRM looking to take this high ground point up here. Center saying, we're not going to meet him up there. We're going to just bunker here on point. UPRM starting to drop with the Orisa first. Center committing 1 ult. And now 2. It's on both sides. Coalescence on point for UPRM is getting a lot of heals, though. And there still has 2 ults for this next fight. UPRM just has the wall here. And it just needs this 1 fight here. 1 clean fight to swap it back over. And they're looking to engage with the Kitsune rush here. Chonky Ghost with the freeze from May here. Able to zone them entirely off the point, and they pick up the Moira. That's going to be sub-map number 2 going to Center, and we will be going to the final sub-map of the final possible map that we could be playing here tonight. A very, very tight one indeed.
1 to 1. Ready for battle.
I'll see this matter resolved.
I can't imagine you're here to do research. Why are you fighting?
I'm here to make a difference in the world. Just like you, right?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, team sticking with a Symmetra here. Oh, that's not true. Sueño swaps over to Reaper and then Junkrat. But with the Lucio on the side of UPRM, who's to say who will get to this point faster? Both sides looking on this sort of hallway on the left here. No one quite on point yet. Seeing if they can get an early pick and get that momentum. Oh no, and the spam damage from this enemy Junkrat takes out Carp. And almost Jellymane as well. A huge pick to be down to support that early. Center's not going to be able to engage without Carp back. With this Ramatra here, Center's going to need to close the gap against their opponent because the Orisa is always going to be able to win in this long-range battle. Huge pick onto the Lucio there. Chonky goes, almost dies, but is able to get into his ice block and stay alive. Orisa gets walled off. Lots of damage going into her, and Center just needs a couple more picks to clean this fight up. Adama teeping in. Get real aggressive up in there. Everyone from Center starting to join in this front room. Jellymane's got Cole here. He might look to get aggressive with it. And he does. They get a huge wall. But the nano onto the Orisa mitigates so much of the damage. Lucio's awfully hurt. It's just Jellymane on point right now. Adama joins the fight as well as Carp. It looks like they're going to have enough damage to burn this. That's a visor from UPRM, doing a lot of damage into Center. They're going to need to find natural cover, and they do not have a tank. Center's split positionally, but they still have the point. They're still ticking up this percentage up in the top here. Jellymane pushing up for some intel. Blakeu gets antied. Junkrat tire might be pretty devastating here. It's still a pretty even fight, and Center's still on the point. Blakeu getting aggressive. Not sure if he has all the resources behind him to be able to do that, though. Huge wall from Center, but the Lucio beat's able to block most of the damage. We'll see a freeze here zoning out the point as they enter into this 99% zone. They're able to get this Reaper down. Soldier jumps onto point. Right into Blakeu's punches. Kiriko, and that's gonna be it. Sure, you can hear them in the other room. Just a really, really, really tight game there. And it'll be Center coming out on top. Play the game to Sueño here on the Symmetra from the side of UPRM. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Happy we could see such a close game. GG's to UPRM for a fantastic match here. We will be swapping over to Center College Gold team after that exciting match, as they are having a game against the University of Cincinnati Black. See you in just a few moments when I work out some details for this match starting soon.
All right, here we go. We got Center Gold versus Cincinnati. We're gonna see how it goes. This is commentator Gooch speaking. Just finished up a game with Overwatch White. Pretty thrilling stuff. So you'll have to excuse me because I'm a little bit fried, but I'm excited to see my boys go at it. We've got Gavinijo in tank as always. He likes to hold it down, playing the heavy heroes. We got Who's James, a little lore. He was my roommate last year, and dude, just aim god. You know, watch your head. Vector, he's playing Reaper this time around, looks like, but always a threat on the Genji as well. Just a DPS threat in general. And then we got our two supports, Toonie, Runner. Oh my gosh, these guys are total studs. Runner is a Lucio. I believe Lucio is his either favorite to play. Just really known for his Lucio, but Toonie also has probably climbed. I mentioned this last stream, but probably climbed faster than anybody I've ever seen in real life. I think he went from like diamond to high GM in just a couple days. So pretty incredible stuff. I think he started with console. But they get on point pretty fast, and Gavinijo is already out there swinging. Looks like they've taken space initially, and Gavinijo, I mentioned this last stream, and I've just doubled down on it. This game at that high level is about patience, and they're gonna They're gonna wait for opportunities to strike. It's all about, you know, not being out of position. Looks like Hughes James gets picked off with a Reaper. Had some help from the Lucio speed, it looks like. So Galvanijo and the team are gonna. Galvanijo gets iced off, and that could be the end for him. But he never goes down without a fight. He's still alive. It might be a. Oh my gosh! Looks like it took all 5 to kill him there. That's not unusual. Nice headshot by Toonie. He can always turn a fight around with those picks. Just all you need is 2 headshots, and squishies will fall when you're playing Kiriko. So they're gonna try and regroup. Best team never takes point first, though. I mean, Thomas Berkey pointed that out, and it stands true. I can tell you, I just saw a pretty crazy comeback happening, so I'm never over until, you know, somebody sings or something. You got Toonies throwing in some shots. You got Galvanijo. Oh, getting iced out. Unfortunate. Gonna cost them a May ult though to get that kill. It looks like they're gonna clean up Who's James and Vector, and the supports are gonna wait to regroup. This is Toonie. Looks like on your screen you'll notice that he's got the gold papers of healing there. I don't know if he has those turned on his own screen or not, but I feel like he probably doesn't. It's just a little Easter egg you guys get to see here. So they're going in with the TP and his I believe that's the Kitsune's rush. I believe that's his. I just call it the bell, honestly. But he's got his rush ultimate here ready. See what they do with it. He's trying to keep his Who's James up. Oh, desperately, but they trade DPS players. The Kutseno rushes. Oh, that's a nice angle there. He's gonna throw some fast shurikens at the Lucio. Looks like they get a pick on the Mei. This could be big. Galvanijo's going in. He's got his ultimate ready. Popping up the shield. He wants that Reaper. And they're keeping them off the point. Looks like they're going to gain at least halfway, 3/4. Ooh, Vector is just killing them as a Reaper. And they take the point. That's awesome. They've got 77. That's a good spot to take the point there, because if they lose a fight, they've got time to get back into it. Iced out Galvanijo. It looks like it's not going to matter, because he just punches through that wall. That looks so sick on screen. I think Ramacho is probably the coolest character. I was debating, and I think him and Sigma definitely get the best voice lines. I mean, you guys probably, I don't know if you can hear them or not, but man, oh man, is it hype when Ramacho says, "Feel my pain," or whatever it is he said. The Reaper, the enemy team, looks to be ulting. Nothing happens. That's crazy how sometimes so many things happen at once that I can't tell cause and effect really clearly. But Galvanijo certainly is ulting now, and Vector's trying to get it. His Kiriko is low, and he can finish that kill off. Looks like he does, as we see in the kill feed. While Galvanijo handles the rest of business in the front. And after that push, Center's going to get another chunk of control percentage down. Galvanijo pretty accurate with that Ramatric left click. Look at him go with that, dude. Here comes Reaper. So they've held him, dude. Center after giving up a little lead at first, strategically of course, they are holding steady, respecting the space. They had to use a few ults. They might be other team might have a few more ults. Oh, we gotta see the ults actually, so we'll know behind the scenes. Looks like Toonie has his rush ready to go though, and that ult by itself is pretty powerful. But what do you know? Toonie and Hughes James getting picks, and the rest of the team looks like it will fall. They're gonna push up super aggressive here, because they know that it's not very much longer. That's an interesting TP. I wonder if that's gonna stay up. They know that that's not much longer before the team has to recontest. Hughes James setting up his turrets. It looks like he put 3 in the same spot. I've never seen that before. But then again, never played this hero myself. He's doing he's charging up his shots. He falls. I don't know if that was it was intentional, dude. He has the TP. He knows what that's for. They used their Kitsune to get in, but dude, Toonie's Kitsune is better. I'll just say that. That was a lot of space he covered with that. Galvanijo's seeking to take advantage, punishing the Reaper at first. Man, Reaper's so hard to kill. But he gets iced off. Looks like the healers can get off. Oh, the team gets him. Let's see what the center gold tries to do here. Looks like they're just gonna regroup for him. No use fighting without their spiritual leader and their tank in the same package there. Galvanijo. Looks like Runner's though gonna have his Lucio ult. Actually, we know from behind the scenes they are winning the ult game here, so this could be an interesting fight. They have to touch soon though, but with Runner's speed, that's not too much of a problem. They're yelling. Oh, he might not be able to get it off. That was unfortunate. That's gonna have to be looked at in the VOD review. Here we go. They're still on point anyway. The enemy Matra is ulting. It looks like the other team had ults come out, but they get the pick on him. It looks like all I'm seeing is a man fighting a Kiriko. Here we go. He's going for Mei though. It looks like his team is cleaning up as Galvanijo holds down the point. Make sure to stay on. They kill the Lucio, and it looks like they're just cleaning up at this point. Vector uses his ultimate just to show the enemy Reaper who the real Reaper in that match was. Mei stalling out for time, but it's not going to matter. even without. Oh, but the ball comes in. They always make the game interesting, don't they? And he's gonna. Oh, I thought he was gonna fall in the hole there. That was good control, and we win. That was a good finish. I was not gonna lie to you, Grant, dude. When Runner went down with his beat, I thought that was a bad omen. But that just shows you, it's especially those last fights where a lot of ults are coming out, a lot of stuff can happen, and center takes advantage, ends it up on top. You know what? I think if we're trying to analyze the game ahead of time, I think that it had something to do with their ability to stay alive. Certainly helps after just their ability to sustain through the fight to make sure they get the most of their ultimates. I don't know if it was earlier. I saw 2 great Kitsunes by Tuni using that ability very well. That's another. You know what? That's another thing. All right, not to just as a little backstory to the viewers here, not to brag, but I recently climbed into a relatively high masters, and one of the things I was trying to focus on was getting the most out of the ultimates. So I used to have this mentality of just pop it as soon as you get it, because as Moira you can get it pretty fast. But a good value ult is invaluable to this. It's like having Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. You pay him whatever he wants because you might win the Super Bowl every year. So that was a long way of saying that ulting important. Oh my gosh, Galvanija's going in. Sometimes when Ramacha goes like that, I think that's the ultimate, but I forget that that's just him, dude. But he's Galvanija's taking space. I guess they're going all the way around the enemy. Cincinnati's gonna cap the point first. Galvanija's purple. We'll see if the bell comes out to save him. He got out of it. Now he's punishing. He gets slept by the Ana, but quickly woken up. He's got a Cassidy on the side. Galvanija is putting in work, and Hughes James with the first pick. Some viewers might be surprised, but it's just another Thursday for me right there. Hughes James with the first pick. I could probably say that many times tonight. But here we go. Runner cleans up, and he's chasing down the Ana. Instead of a support, he's gonna throw into traffic. She tries to stay up, but it's not gonna do enough. The other team's playing a Brigitte, it seems, which I don't see too often, I feel like, but maybe her comeback is coming. Oh, we're playing our... Oh, we got a view into the other team. That's not something that usually happen here, but here we go. Ramacha as Galvanija is holding down the stuff, slowing down the Tracer there. That's an interesting pick. There's not really a, squish. There's not really... We're not playing a Zen or Ana. I know Tuni likes to... Tuni's pretty much an Ana and Kiriko exclusively, so maybe she was hoping that... Oh! He's getting some kills, but I think they were turrets. I see the skull and I get excited. Looks like the enemy Sumatra is... Well, that's our Sumatra, I forget. Okay, I'm really disoriented in the stream, but it looks like center is... Doesn't matter what I think, because center gold is pushing up, cleaning up, and they've got 40% captured, so about 2 or 3 more fights, and then they can call this first round a W for center gold here. Vector as the Reaper. I really enjoy his Genji play, but it's not always about being flashy. Sometimes it's about just getting the job done. And Reaper's one of those guys who just you send him in overalls and roll up his sleeves, and he just gets in the thick of things and gets stuff done. With no complaints. So looks like the Tracer. See that Tracer? I don't think she's getting no offense to Cincinnati. I just don't think she's getting value there. Oh, Tuni with a nice headshot, dude. Then cleaned up by Galvanijo. It's always the oh my gosh, it's always the support making the tanks look good. That's just an unbiased opinion from a Moira main. Here we go with Runner. Oh, wasted ult by that Tracer. You know what? I feel like I'm giving the Tracer a hard time, but she's doing damage just like the rest of us, and it seems to be a team differential on this second round of the control point here. So just 10%. It's going to be hard for Cincinnati to get a touch here, but that sleep might be a good start. Galvanijo's also got his ultimate ready, and he's just holding with both his arms. Somebody's must be touching on point, but Galvanijo refuses to let the other team catch up. It looks like the ball there, trying to stall out, but Galvanijo pops his ult, and he's going to be doing some damage. Looks like Cincinnati's not going to have anybody, and that's going to be first round for Overwatch Gold. It's good. That's good stuff. We like to see that. We like to see. What map we have next? I think we have to. Some voting might have to take place. Might take a pause on the stream. Or maybe let's look at this play of the game. Vector chasing down this seat, able to get. Oh my gosh, he got the both supports. It looks like, and that's a good way to start and finish the fight there.
Welcome to Blizzard World. Initiating match.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on map number 2 here on Blizzard World. This Center College versus the University of Cincinnati Black Team. Unfortunately, our pal Eli Gooch had to go get some food after his very exhilarating match earlier today. So you are stuck with me. Center looking to run this Ramatra composition again into Blizzard World. Everything looks the same on both sides with the exception of the DPS. Cincinnati here is running a Junkrat and a Sojourn. Junkrat could supply a lot of spam damage into this choke here. Oh, the spam damage already coming in from the Junkrat, getting a quick 25 ult charge without even seeing his opponents. They're wrapping around to the high ground. They can go pretty fast, but they can't avoid the damage from Cincinnati. They're gonna have to back out and regroup. They might be looking to run some more defensive abilities here rather than just the speed to be able to get onto the point and close that distance. Galvanijo damages up here. Like some natural cover still. Who's James? TPs of the team up onto the high ground here by the point. And they take a pick on him as he falls down. Runner picks up a kill. Low health bars. He gets topped up. And are wrapping around here. Runner gets a huge beat. Almost takes out the tire, but not quite, and it falls onto Vector. Junie popped his Kitsune rush. The ultimate here from Cincinnati's Ramatra. A lot of damage and creates so much space. Has to push center off the point, and they don't even get a single tick. Galvanijo pushing that Sojourn off the high ground. Playing a little split here, looking to go stack onto the Ramatra. Take point as Cincinnati takes this high ground up here. They're wrapping around from a couple different angles to take him off. Who's James gets a pick with his orb. And they're starting to take these points. They're starting to take these picks. They're cleaning up the fight. And they're taking some space, picking off these stragglers here. As Tooney stays back on cart. Cincinnati's setting up on the bridge here. They're doing some poke damage from afar. As we see this cart start to get close to under this bridge, I think we're going to see an engagement here. Sojourn ults from the side of Cincinnati, and center just runs and hides under this room here. No picks on either side yet. It's going to be Vector walking up and ulting with the extra health from that beat, but doesn't quite do it soon enough, and the damage comes in with this this Junkrat ultimate from Cincinnati. And Tooney gets picked as well. Looking at the ult here, it's pretty even from both sides. 2 ults for each team. Galvanijo will have his pretty soon. Runner speeding center around to the left side, going up this staircase to engage on the high ground. We'll see a Kitsune rush from Puffer from Cincinnati. Cincinnati gets 2 picks from this. Vector looking very low. It's going to need some heals. They're looking to regroup up on the top here. They've got 4. Tuni gets trapped. Huge pick from Tuni with a headshot onto the Sojourn here. Vector almost gets to that health pack, but doesn't quite.
Nice work, team. Keep it moving.
Damage coming out here from Cincinnati's Junkrat. Raining down from the high ground. James takes him out with that Sojourn ultimate. And are almost running out of time here. Only 20 seconds left. 1 ultimate to their name. They might need this beat just to engage in the fight. Vector's going to be able to touch the card, it looks like. Unless he gets booped away, he TP's right onto it, so he's on it. It's on it quite early. 2 picks from center here. The beat keeping them alive, but the Ramatra ultimate. Huge pick from enemy Sojourn. Gotta burn the Ramatra. Great stuff from center here. They take it. They're going to get this onto the 3rd section of the map. Galvanijo here on the Orisa instead of the Ramatra. Taking out that Junkrat trap. Kitsune rush from Puffer from Cincinnati. Center runs out to avoid the damage. James has this 1 shot here. He'll look to come around this corner. Keep it up. And he knows that Cincinnati doesn't have Kitsune, so he's going to pop his own. Center an opportunity to engage. Huge team effort here to get a pick onto that Sojourn. Vector goes in, but he falls. Center backing out just a little bit, but they're getting the cart forward. They've got only 20 seconds left. It's looking like this match will be determined in overtime. Huge spear from Galvanijo. Continuing to engage, the spin to win, but the beat comes down and it's not going to get any kills. Does force out some ults. Vector looking awfully low. Tuni looking awfully low. And the beat comes out to save everyone. Super low on the Sojourn here. Vector goes in, gets a ton of damage. Ramatra's low. Center's looking like they're going to be able to finish this. They just need to pick on the Lucio. And they do. Incredible stuff. Barely gets the cart into the 2nd section of the map. And they're able to take it all the way to the 3rd. Incredible stuff here from center. But of course, just finishing the map with 0 seconds in the time bank. If we see a strong push here from Cincinnati, this game is anything but over. We'll see a lot of the same here from both teams. No Ramacha from Galvanijo, sticking on this Orisa. Vector looking to play awfully close up.
Stay in sight, and I'll keep you safe.
It'll be Tooney and who's James up on the high ground here. Going to be able to get a lot of damage in. Vector opts not to hold quite that close up. Immediately running into this high ground, but center with their positioning is able to just run right back into point, make them come to them. Up on the high ground, looking to maybe get a pick with this Junkrat damage. A one-shot from a Sojourn from either side could be a deciding factor in this fight here. Cincinnati's Ramatra gets a little low, but he gets back to full health, and they're coming around on the right side instead. James is low, but he's got one shot. Ults are charging on both sides. Vector falls, and Puffer starts to pop the first ult of the fight. That'll be a Kitsune rush for Cincinnati. Center's not going to quite have the resources to deal with this, but if they can keep enough alive, they should be able to re-engage. Not going to be possible, and Cincinnati is going to take that first point. Center does have soon to be 4 ults to their name to go into this next phase. Cincinnati's pushed up pretty far onto this high ground here, keeping just 1 on the cart. Now that center's all regrouped, they're going to run on into the high ground here. Ooh, a lot of damage from Cincinnati. They're running out, has to re-engage again. With only 1 on cart, though, Cincinnati is not getting too much push value from these fights won. Center almost at 5 ultimates, but the same can be said for Cincinnati. We're going to see it Kitsune from both. Junkrat hiding around the corner might be looking to use his tire. Yes, he does. Does center know where it is? Someone's pinged it. And here in the room. Doesn't get anyone. But does do a lot of zoning, and we look back at the cart, Cincinnati is awfully close to finishing up this section of the map. Huge ultimate from Galvanijo with a lot of great support from Runner and Tooney. Got damage in space from the Ramatra from Cincinnati, but center's able to get rid of him. And is going to be able to stop this cart. Center taking the high ground, going to be able to quickly collapse onto point if anyone tries to get cheeky in and flank around to touch it to this last couple of meters. Cincinnati coming up in the high ground in the same stairwell. Center not making the same mistake they made the first time by pushing into it. Vector ults from the high ground, but he gets taken down. Just too much damage capability from Cincinnati when they have that Kitsune Rush active. Of course, increases the fire rate of each of the abilities and guns from Cincinnati. See a Hanzo here from Cincinnati. Offers a lot of burst damage into Center's composition. and take out any of the squishies with just a single shot in the head. In this third phase of the fight, or of the map, we'll see Cincinnati having a much better time bank than Center did at the same point, but with a good stall, Center can still make this work. Kitsune from Toonie gives Center a lot of space, but not a lot of picks. Vector swaps over to Reaper instead of the Tracer. Ooh, Dragons is able to split a lot of Center. Who's James with the Sojourn ult, pops it, takes out the enemy Sojourn. Getting a lot of damage in here. Both of these teams have been doing just an incredible job with the speed that they have from their Lucios. Of the second they lose a player, they run back out, wait just a moment, and re-engage. Making it so no one gets too much value out of any ultimate, out of any one kill. See the Sojourn ult from Cincinnati gets taken down by Who's James. A lot of damage here. Great positioning from Center, pushing them all the way back, making sure they're getting the full value out of this one team fight. Both teams are now fully regrouped. Cincinnati looking to come back in. Center's got 2 ultimates to their name, soon to be 4 with Who's James and Vectors pretty far charged. Toonie coming in here with another Kitsune rush. We'll see a beat to stop most of the damage from Lightning from Cincinnati. Center playing around this corner, not getting too aggressive. Toonie able to get out with that TP, but the Ramatra ultimate just does too much damage walking in. Galvanijo's able to pop his ult, gets one, but Center's down a lot. They're going to need a second to regroup and speed right on in because they need to contest this here. They don't quite make it. Needed to run in just a second sooner. Vector does get the triple kill, but of course it's too late.
3 to 3. Switching sides.
Now Cincinnati does have the advantageous time bank, but only by 52 seconds. Still anyone's game. We'll have to see what sort of adjustments each side makes. Try to clutch this out as we enter into this new round of attack and defense.
Ready for battle.
Seeing much of the same from both sides here. Center back on the attack. Last time they played attack, they were using the Ramatra.
Listened to your album the other day.
From
Not sure there
imperfection,
was enough
we
phase.
build.
Who's James on the Symmetra to possibly teleport into them. And the Ramatra from Galvanijo back. Seeing what we saw that first round.
The world is a dream not yet realized.
5, 4, 3,
Over here.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
Shadows coalesce.
Pick from, don't know how to say that, but Cincinnati's Hanzo. It's going to make a big difference with how small Center's time bank is. Only 30 seconds left. Center has to walk on point and take it. Likely a fight going to be won in overtime, if at all. Center going around on the right here. Galvanijo blocking a lot of damage, switching it up, going over to the left. No ults from either side, of course. TP up to the high ground from Who's James. They're able to get a pick on the enemy Sojourn. That might give them the momentum they need to take this fight. They're gonna need the other picks to come in, though. It's one tick on point. Entered into overtime. Now or never. Oh, they almost make it, and the Ramacha falls onto the point. Center does take this first point here. Still in overtime. They will have to stay on the cart the entire time. Huge dragons here from Cincinnati. That might be a resource burn that could have made more of a difference later in this. A huge deal that Center has ultimates, at least more so than we'll see from Cincinnati here, but both will have a lot charged up soon. This might be decided by who can be more proactive with their usage. See a high ground position from Cincinnati, much like we saw in Center's first round of attack. That'll be beats and Kitsunes from both teams. Ramatra ults as well. Seeing quite a mirror here. Both teams looking just unkillable. The Center's still on cart. Who's James able to pop his wall? Oh no, but Vector gets taken down by the Hanzo. Oh, Sojourn one shot from Cincinnati. Takes down James. Center's still on cart. With Tooney down, is going to be a lot less sustained. That's going to be as far as they can take it on this point. But still, an incredible push from Center, given the only 1 minute on the time bank.
3 to 4. Switching sides.
Center can waste some time here on the defense.
Initiating match.
Map number 2 could be theirs.
Ready for battle.
See the Orisa comp from Center College here. Vector on the Reaper. Of course, Tooney and Runner holding it down on Kiriko and Lucio, respectively. We've seen the value that the teleport has for Who's James and his teammates on the attack when they were able to get up onto the high ground. And we'll have to see what sort of utility it provides here on the defense. Could be a great tool for getting Center on and off of high ground.
Incoming. Defend objective A. Threats detected. Enemy located.
Just like the previous times, we will see Cincinnati running up onto this high ground. A lot of damage. Center's squishier characters making sure to stay out of the way of these one-shot capable characters of Hanzo and Sojourn. You're tucking in on point. Oh! Runner does fall to that one shot from the Sojourn. Hanzo as well. Just a ton of burst damage here from Cincinnati's composition. Center's gonna have to get out here. They've still wasted a good deal of time. With only 40 seconds left. This might only take a little bit of stalling and one good team fight. Center opting not to take the high ground here. Tucking right around behind Cincinnati. And even farther away. What an interesting position here. But all that matters is that they win the fight. We see Toonie going in with the Kitsune Rush. Dragons do a lot of zoning for Cincinnati. And they are down one on the side of center. Hunter gets a kill. The Ramatra ult from Cincinnati. Center can get off the point, but Cincinnati cannot. They have to win it here. It looks like they're going to be able to. Center will still have another opportunity to engage here, thanks to how close up to Cincinnati spawn they took that last fight. There's still a beat from the side of Cincinnati, but Center is going to have 2 or 3, maybe even 4 ults. See the Sojourn ult from Cincinnati as well. Center just has to get them off the point. We'll see that spin to win. Draws out the beat from Cincinnati. That overhelp from beat goes away, but they do get a pick onto Toonie. That's going to make Center much less able to sustain. James popping ult. Vector popping ult. It's a huge ult from Vector. That's going to clear it up for Center College. A very, very tight game number 2.
Now arriving at the Shamali Monastery.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for a bit of an error on the scoreboard there. I am a one-man show here tonight, so you make some mistakes. This is Center College up 2-0 against the University of Cincinnati's black team. We will be playing here on the Shambali Monastery, one of the newer maps here in Overwatch 2.
Ready for battle. Systems online. Weapons ready.
Bit of a change up here from center in terms of the composition that we're seeing. Much more long range now that we're moving to a new map type. See Vector on the Hanzo, who's James on the Sojourn, and Tuni on the Ana. Runner is well great at these distances on the Zenyatta.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cincinnati, of course, will still have those two great burst damage heroes with their Hanzo and Sojourn of their own. Of course, it's going to be looking to go a little bit faster here than center potentially. Looking to close that distance when we're looking at what their support lineup is and their tank. Center going to do what they can to keep this distance. backing out of this fight a little bit after losing Vector on the Hanzo. Potentially looking to go around to the left here. Go up, get that high ground, flush them out. They're all up here. Gonna wait down these cooldowns from Cincinnati. That Ramatra, you know, punchy mode is quite powerful into Center's composition here. Wait it out, looking in. Ramatra awfully low. Huge anti from Tooney. Just gonna need some damage to finish him off. And Galvanijo answers that call. Well, who's James on the Sojourn here? Got a couple stragglers that get away, but not going to matter as Center does take the cart. They've got 3 on it, and they're getting some momentum into this map number 3. Onijo looking in this front line, putting some damage down and soaking up some bullets for his teammates as always. Center going to be looking to get away from this Kitsune rush, but Runner can't quite get away. No mobility abilities on this Zenyatta here. Didn't quite have his ultimate either. One shot available for Who's James. Vector gets some intel. Shoots his dragons, but it's the dragons from Cincinnati. Taking Cincinnati by surprise, catching their positioning around that corner. Big Cincinnati running right in and cleaning up on this fight. Minute and 20 left on the clock. But of course, Center will get more time in their bank if they can make it to this checkpoint. A lot of ultimates for Center, but a lot for Cincinnati as well. They're looking to take this fight onto the cart. Cart as natural cover. Sojourn ult from Cincinnati. Doesn't find anyone. Center's able to readjust their positioning. They still have time in the bank. They can make a play like this. Come back in now that that's offline. See Galvanijo going in with his ultimate. Getting a nano for some extra sustain, for some extra defense on it. Doesn't quite get anything other than the space. Oh no, and it's the Sojourn from Cincinnati taking out Who's James. Galvanijo not going to make it out either. Oh no, with only 10 seconds left, Center has nothing that can touch here. See a ball swap from Galvanijo, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it in time. Runner making a sprint for it on the Zenyatta. Possible to win this, but with not even making it to that first checkpoint, this is looking awfully favored for Cincinnati to run in with their fast comp, just win a couple of team fights, and they should be able to take it. What kind of composition Center can conjure up that might be able to hold them for as long as is going to be necessary on this payload map here in Shambali Monastery? Was looking to play the Ashe, but swaps back to Reaper. Any on the Ana here. Runner looking to play the Lucio. He should provide a pretty good defensive option, while that Ana can still do so much to support Galvanijo's Orisa.
The reality was not as inspiring.
Seeing much of the same from Cincinnati here with the Ramatra. These two characters with so much burst damage for the DPS. Center is going to have to hold on this first point for a very long time. As this corner gets up, I think we're going to have to see center drop and contest on it. Onijo distracted by the Lucio. About to have his health bar fall pretty low. Getting healed up, able to get out of the fight. But they're giving space to Cincinnati. Cincinnati already able to make it around this first corner that tripped up center for a little while. Looking like Tooney's going to be able to get out of this one with the help of Runner. Oh, but not quite. Pinching from the other side. That'll be both supports down. All the while, the cart is inching closer to this final checkpoint. And they take it. Not bad plays by center there on point 2, but the deck was just stacked against them with how short of a time bank, or not a time bank, but how huge of a time bank it was and how short of a distance they were going to have to hold. Going to map 4 here now. This will be a push type map. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Welcome to Esperanza. Initiating match.
Map number 4, we will see center selecting Esperanza.
Ready for battle. You count on me, I count on you.
Seeing more of this Ramatra from Cincinnati. And an Orisa from Galvanijo. Oh, some sort of error as the map gets reset.
Initiating match.
Well, we'll take another scenic tour of the city. Looks like those are the comp centers looking to run. Swap over to Bastion. Not sure if he'll pick it or if he's just trying to ring this bell up here even harder. And it'll be a swap back to Sojourn. Of course, just making for the most efficient bell ringing possible. See a Junkrat here from Cincinnati. That spam damage might be difficult for some of Summer's squishier heroes, especially this Tracer. Yeah, just 2 of those bombs could be enough to take Vector down. James charging his railgun here. Be Cincinnati taking more space on the cart, but they're still preventing Robot from getting too far. Galvanijo walking right in. He gets a great pick onto the Junkrat. Vector's awfully low, gonna need some healing. Gonna get a couple more picks off of that first one. Great pick for Tooney. We already have a beat here from Runner. And he's able to take out the enemy Kiriko. That'll be Center taking this fight. Getting a lot of alt charge for their troubles as well. That'll be a Kitsune rush from Center. Doesn't get too much damage, but does create a lot of space. That'll be a Kitsune from Cincinnati as well. And a beat from Runner to counter it. And they're looking to back out a little bit while some of these cooldowns come offline. Pick under the Junkrat. Not too much momentum from Cincinnati onto this cart. Looking like Center's going to be able to clean up this fight.
Robots pushing. Forward spawn activated. Under my protection.
Be who's Jange engaging with his ultimate. A little bit blocked by this shield from the Ramatra, but still getting a lot of damage off. Of course, zoning out the opponent. Neither of these teams like to stick around for a fight they don't think they can win. So we would see Cincinnati backing out of there, regrouping, and coming in here strong with this Ramatra ult. The center starts to back up. We'll have 4 ults coming into this next fight for center. And at least one for Cincinnati. Galvino taking some space up here on the high ground, pushing them down. Tuni using his Kitsune Rush. Vector gets a pick with his bomb. Super low Reaper there. Galvino takes him out with a melee attack. Center taking out one target at a time. Able to get it with a really great spear there. There's just one shot left, and Runner's able to take him out with the boop. Great fight there from center, but not a lot of ultimates on their side, as a lot of things are coming online over here for the University of Cincinnati. Runner pops center's only ult that they have. Oh, and so much damage here. Might be able to take out the Reaper, but I don't think so. Runner couldn't quite get away, and that's a clean fight. Clean team fight won from the University of Cincinnati.
Stop their barricade.
Still a lot of ult advantage on the side of Cincinnati, even after that fight. They might be looking to take a dry fight here. Not necessarily by choice, though. Oh no, that one shot takes out Vector. Center can still win this if they get a good pick. It's who's James forced out of that high ground position by the Reaper. We'll see an ultimate from Cincinnati's Sojourn, getting 2 great picks. This fight might be enough to give Cincinnati the lead with the robot. Looks like Vector might be going for a contest here. He should be able to touch it if he has time, but what will he do once he gets there? Galanita will be there with him. They're going in. That's a Kitsune Rush from Tuni. A lot of damage coming in from center. N8. That huge pick. Reaper's up top. Might be able to contest cart, but Robot's getting very, very far away from where Cincinnati wants it. It's a pick on a Vector. It's looking pretty even both sides. Gaudino flushing out high ground again, but right underneath him, the Robot's back in the possession of Cincinnati. They've got a couple ults to burn if they want to use them here for this defense. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the ultimate from Galvanijo's Orisa. The Ramatra ultimate. 2 huge picks from Who's James. So much damage he's able to get. And a melee to finish it off. We might see a better angle of that in the play of the game reel at the end, but not sure. We're playing around this corner here. Reaper TPing in. He's got the ultimate. He was looking to use it there, but had to back out. Gunner will have to make sure this Reaper doesn't get a good position for his ultimate, and he does. He drops down from above and gets a clean 3, and now 4. It's a clean team fight for Cincinnati. But with how much distance the robot has to go and the little bit of advantage that center still has, it looks like they should be able to engage here before it catches up with the wall. Oh, and they very much know where to expect center for this next fight here. Gavinijo not able to get much value from his ultimate, and that'll be a Sojourn ult. Center is very split here, easy to pick off. That's probably going to be giving the lead right on over to Cincinnati, and with only a minute left, these next couple of team fights are going to be what matters. And if they don't go in center's favor, if center can't get some momentum, get the robot all the way back to the portion of the wall that pushes them towards the end, this could be looking like a one fight for Cincinnati. Thankfully, Toonie is on center's side to get a quick melee kill. Get some momentum with this Kitsune rush. Good pick onto the Ramatra here. They're looking to clean up. Great headshot from Toonie. Only 30 seconds left. Center's going to have to get this robot very far. Going to have to win a couple fights in a row, I think, to clutch this out. But certainly doable. These push maps often go that way. I mean, if center just doesn't get pushed off the card at any point, they will be able to clutch this out. I'll be a beat from runner. Center's gonna have to go in. They're gonna have to touch the cart. But there's so much pressure being applied from Cincinnati's Ramatra. A lot of low health bars from Center College. Gavinijo will have ult soon, but if center starts getting picked off, it might not matter. Toonie almost dead, starting to heal back up. That's a huge spin from Gavinijo, but they all get out in time. Such slippery and speedy abilities with Cincinnati. Center's got a stack cart here. Picks from both sides, but the Kitsune rush from Cincinnati, the freedom to move that they have by not needing to be on the cart the whole time. Just runner has to use the beat on himself. He contests for a little. He's slippery, but Center's not going to quite be able to make it. Another very, very close game here. That will make it a Game 5 scenario. Just like the earlier match that we saw. Play the game coming from Cincinnati's Reaper here. Dropping down from the high ground and getting 4 kills. We'll see you in just a couple minutes for yet another wildly exciting conclusion. Yeah. See you in a bit.
Traveling to Nepal.
We will be going to Nepal for this exciting Map 5 conclusion. Round hasn't started yet, so people selecting a couple characters that might not be representative of what they're actually going to play. If I had to guess, I think we'll be seeing maybe a Symmetra here from Who's James. Mirroring some of the incredible value that we saw in Center White's match earlier today. Also,
Ready for battle.
thrillingly concluded on Nepal. That's what we will see. James on the Symmetra, Vector on the Reaper, Tooney on the Kiriko, Runner on the Lucio, and Captain Galvanijo, Junior Joseph Matthews holding it down on the Ramatra.
Round one.
A nice early TP from Who's James. Both teams with a TP and a Lucio, they're going to be looking to get on this point as soon as physically possible. See a swap from the Symmetra from Cincinnati here, but Who's James will stick with it. A lot of low health bars in center. They do manage to pass that threshold and get a kill. They might be looking to back out just a little bit here. They're doing a lot of damage. A fully charged laser here from Who's James. It's a beat from both sides. Once again, Vector gets taken down. They might have got just a little bit too aggressive there. Have a Kitsune from Toonie here, and a wall from Who's James, and very soon a Ramatra ult from Galvanijo. Pretty equal amount of ults from Cincinnati, but some different ones. Two Kitsunes and card, a lot of abilities flying real fast. Galvanijo able to pick up a kill with his ultimate. Super low here on the Sojourn, and super low on this Ramatra. Galvanijo going in a bit. Seeing what they can do to clean up. There'll be a one fight from center. Down a little bit in the ultimate economy, but not too much. Vector has ult here. No beat from the side of Cincinnati to stop it if he's able to get a good position on it. Center playing around some of these pillars here. In that natural cover. Picking up that percentage. The beat from Runner. Able to give center some momentum. Super low on the Sojourn. Galvanijo going to try to get that kill. Doesn't quite get it. A huge Death Blossom from Vector, though. Doesn't quite get it back to point. Two supports left from center. Looking to stall out some more percentage. Maybe even run out. Galvanijo back in the fray, but pick onto Toonie. LB center. Going to get out here. Oh, and Vector too. There should be one more good fight here. I should be able to get in this point in time, but only a few percentage left. Runner able to get in there. That's a Kitsune early from the side of Cincinnati. Takes out Toonie before he can pop one of his own. This is really looking like it's going to be a sub-map 1 to the side of Cincinnati.
Score 1-0.
In this position, we are seeing Cincinnati just one sub-map away from not just a win, but a reverse sweep against Center College.
Not sure there was enough bass. I could almost hear the other sounds.
I'll crank it up next time.
Center sticking with the Symmetra here. Likely that we'll see the Symmetra from Cincinnati swap back over to Reaper.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hughes James has gotten a lot of value from the Symmetra on this sub-map before. Putting all those turrets up in the little room. See a high ground positioning from Cincinnati, while center goes straight to the point. Both teams doing some poke and some chip. We'll see a Reaper dropping down from top. A lot of great positioning from Cincinnati. Going to be able to get a bit of a pincer on them. Center holding point. Choosing to back out here. They're awfully hurt. Center's going to have to back out all the way. If any of them want to live this opening fight. Oh. Toonie falls.
You know, it's not always gonna be a top hit. Match this BPM.
We've got a beat from Runner, and soon to have a lot of other ultimates online. Cincinnati will have their Kitsune rush for this fight, faster than Center's able to charge it. Beat from Runner is able to stave off a lot of the damage from that Kitsune rush. Galvanijo is looking awfully low. He does fall. Center does get a few more percentage points on the point there in that fight, but it's going to be another one for Cincinnati. We'll have Ramatra ult, wall from Symmetra, and Kitsune rush for Cincinnati, or for Center here.
How's that for sound therapy?
For Center, I'd be working to make sure they don't get dropped on by this Reaper who's Death Blossom. It's going to be hugely impactful. See, Wraiths right into Center's team. They do take him out. Getting rid of that threat. That'll be a Kitsune rush pop from Toonie.
Constructing my teleporter.
Center's got the teleport there, allowing them to be close to the point when they need it and be able to apply a little pressure to that high ground, which is where Cincinnati's going to be looking to engage from. Center dropping back down to point. It drops the wall. Matcha awfully hurt from Cincinnati. It'll be Lucio falling from Cincinnati. This fight really could still go either way. That's a Death Blossom from Reaper, and it's huge. Gets a lot of kills.
The way is still open for me.
It has just occurred to me via a text message that you have not been able to see the stream for some time. I can't really check most of the comments while I'm streaming. My apologies when it's just me in here. So, in 3 minutes, that will change for you. Center College taking this fight. 99 to 85 here. They will have beat from Cincinnati here, but nothing else as we go into this last fight scenario. An early Kitsune rush might be able to do a lot of damage. That's a Symmetra from Cincinnati here. Galvanijo dropping a point. Kitsune rush from Toonie. A lot of low health bars at Center College. Gonna need the heals here. Toonie comes in clutch with it. Just gotta burn 1 or 2 more targets. That'll be Center taking sub map number 2. Just 1 more sub map to go. This will decide it all. A whole night of games coming down into just this one roughly 10-minute segment.
For the moment, we have a common purpose. Let's focus on that. I can do this on my own. Probably faster, too.
And Cincinnati looking to engage on this left side here in this stairwell. Center's got into this section where they can get a little bit of extra natural cover. Center looking to TP right onto the point, right as it starts to unlock. Oh, that'll be a shot onto Vector. First fight's going to go to Cincinnati, but it was a hard-fought one. Stalling out the point for a little while before either team could contest. A lot of damage came out that last fight from Cincinnati's Sojourn, which is going to have ultimate. Center making some choices about how they want to engage. Running in pretty fast here. If we can get a pick on that Sojourn, they're not going to have too much to deal with us. Center is able to take down the Lucio. All of Cincinnati in this little room in here on the point. Beat and Kitsune rush. A lot of alts invested, but they're going to see the results. Just got to take down this Lucio. Huge boop from that Lucio right before he fell. Able to take down 2 from center. Without those numbers, it's going to be difficult for center to engage really up close here. Galvanijo popping all onto point. The same Ramatra ult from Cincinnati as well as a beat. They are able to burn through. Getting the Lucio and the Ramatra. Center looking to take a more of a forward position here. Cincinnati's Reaper right around the corner. Doesn't quite have Death Blossom yet, but will have it soon. But same can be said for Vector. Center backing up. Waiting for Cincinnati to engage. Tuni gets low, but doesn't quite fall. Vector taking kind of a weird angle on them with his TP. Vector's got his ult. It's a Death Blossom from Cincinnati's Reaper. And an awfully aggressive Lucio. James alone in this room here. Tuni able to stall the point for quite a few extra percentage points there. Center's got ults. They can make this happen. If it's a clean fight, that last 9 percentage points could easily be taken before Cincinnati can get back. But they'll need a clean fight. Cheeky positioning from Cincinnati's Reaper there. Both support ults from Center College. Kevin goes in. They get on point, and this looks like it's going to be the clean fight that they need. They need to make sure they get this Lucio down. They're going to have to run up into the thing. Make sure no one can possibly get in that Symmetra. TP, they've got a ball. They're looking to get in as fast as they can, but they can't do it. That's going to be Center College for the second time in the night, taking an incredibly clutch Game 5 win. Play of the game will go to Lightning from Cincinnati on the Lucio. GG's to both teams involved. Just a night of very, very, very close games. That Reaper right at the end from Kevin from Vector made all the difference. Thank you all so much for watching. Tune in next week for some more Overwatch. We stream every Thursday with both Overwatch Gold and Overwatch White. Y'all take care now.